So we're talking cheese boards. We're going to talk save versus splurge, and whether you want to get fancy or not, we're going to make sure that it is absolutely delicious. So if you could just start, Erin, by walking us through the basics of a cheese board. Like, what do you need to make the most basic cheese board out there?
Yeah, so you need cheese.
You need cheese.
So you're going to start with maybe a selection of somewhere between 2 to 6 cheeses, whatever's appropriate for the group that you're serving. You want to choose a selection of cheeses that covers off different milk types. Yeah. So you want to have some cow's milk, some sheep, maybe goat milk. If you've got a vegan friend coming over, you might want to consider having an alternative for them as well.
Yes.
And then you want to cover off the different styles of cheese as well. So you might have a soft cheese to start with, something really super creamy, maybe a blue cheese if everybody loves it, and something else in the middle.
Okay, and then you want to have like some fresh, some fruit, some veggies. You're saying sort of mix that up between fresh and dried?
Yeah, that's right. So you're looking for like a combination of textures and flavors and different colors as well. So when you're building a board, you know, the beautiful grapes on there with the dried apricots, you might want to have some different vehicles to choose from, I like to call them. So some baguette or some crackers, and mix up like the textures and the flavors all through it.
Okay, well, that one looks gorgeous. You do have a warning, though, for folks at home making a cheese board about garnishes.
Yeah, you know, there seems to be a bit of a trend these days of garnishing with all different kinds of things. And, you know, the #1 rule is that it should be edible always. So careful with the flowers that you're choosing. You know, make sure if you're going to put a flower on there that might actually be toxic, that you wrap it properly. Or, you know, my favorite thing to do is to choose herbs from the garden. They're always edible, they're always beautiful, and it's nice and fresh.
So what's really cool is you've done sort of a splurge board and you've done a save board, and both of them are fantastic. I'm going to start with the splurge because there are things on that splurge cheese board. First of all, it's gorgeous, but there are things on there that make it really special. So why don't you point out the special items on that board?
Yeah, so, you know, what is a splurge board? Well, it's probably going to start with your, like, what I like to call forever favorite. You know, usually you're going to go to your cheesemonger at your favorite cheese shop and say, okay, I absolutely have to have this one. So for me today, that is a cheese called La Tour from France. It covers off all the different milk types. It's a combination of goat, sheep, and cow. And it's like super creamy. You know, I'm going to show you here. I built a little bite for you. This is like uber creamy.
Yeah,
get it on a cracker there, right? And then the thing that I'm pairing it with today, which also is part of that splurge board, is some truffle honey. So look at the truffle, right? Yeah. Look at the truffle in there. Build yourself a little bite. Beautiful. We'll make sure you get a taste of that later, Tracy.
Nice.
And then I've also gone into another special cheese. You might want to choose something that you've always kind of had your eye on. Yeah. You know, something that you've always been curious about. You can talk to your cheesemonger about it. Make sure the one that you're choosing is nice and ripe, ready to go. Yeah. This cheese here is made in Quebec. It's called Adoré. It's a spruce bark wrapped cheese. Oh, wow. And look at the goo in here.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
So get your baguette and smear it on there. And another bite ready to go.
Erin, that looks fantastic. Okay, I understand why that might cost a little bit of money. There's special things on there.
Exactly.
Let's talk a little bit about our save board. So how much did you spend on all of this good stuff? Do tell.
This beautiful board right here cost me $25 to put together.
So good.
So reasonable. Yes. You really can't do it for much cheaper than that. Yeah. But you know, $25, it's probably going to feed at least 4, maybe 6 people. Yeah. And the secret, I think, to making a beautiful board on a budget is to utilize what you've got in your pantry at home as well. So for this board, I took some fresh mozzarella bocconcini and I marinated them with some olive oil, some herbs and spices from my pantry, a little fresh garlic, and then, you know, spend a little bit of time making it pretty and cute. Yeah. I put some skewers together with some of the tomatoes and cucumbers, and, you know, all of a sudden you've turned a $5 container of mozzarella into something a little bit more fun.
Special. Yeah, absolutely. You've also sort of shopped the sales when it comes to the cheese, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah, so the next little tip is there's always some kind of cheese on sale. Yeah. You're always going to be able to find something. So I found an awesome 1-year cheddar. We make great cheddar in Canada.
We do.
This cheddar was actually even less than what I budgeted for. Wow. So beautiful piece of cheese for $6. And also, you know, you don't have to buy a special jam for your board. Maybe you've got a little bit of honey in the pantry. You can put a little container of that out. Put some nice toothpicks, and you know, You've got a nice little pairing there with some blue cheese and honey.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, so I love cheese, but so does T. So T, come on in here. This is a special assignment, and I sort of wish I was in your position. Okay. We're gonna get you, Erin has sliced you up a couple of cubes of cheese. One of them is from the Save board, and one of them is from the Splurge board. And you're gonna try both of them, and you're gonna tell us what you love. So go ahead and try
Just so
cheese
you guys
number
know,
one.
I don't have a sophisticated palate, so I won't know, but let's give this a try.
Okay. We'll give you some time to choose and chew and take in the flavors of that particular cheese.
I like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's working for you.
It's probably the cheap one.
And there's nothing wrong with that. We just want to make sure you like it.
I have a feeling.
Just pick what you like.
Oh, I like that one.
You like number one. But
I have a feeling that's the expensive one.
Is she right, Erin?
She is right.
Yeah, I like the cheap one.
You always win when you like the cheap one.
Yes, I do prefer that one.
Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Which two did you give her, just really quickly before we move on?
So the one that you just loved is a white cheddar. It's called Tickler. It's a tickler, tickle your palate there.
Yes.
And you also had a little bite of French Canadian cheese as well, a semi-firm.
Yeah. This is something the French Canadians do very, very well.